our society is so used to apologizing for everything, for taking up space, for accidentally bumping into someone. Saying sorry should be something that is almost sacred, because we don't really do that many things that are so wrong to apologize for, you know? And so to apologize for wanting to get to the milk, and I just so happen to be within 10 feet of you, I don't think I should be apologizing. But alas, most of us still do, and I'm still catching myself on this habit. So instead of apologizing for literally just living, how about if you are in someone's way, just excuse yourself. Say, excuse me, I'd like to pass through. Or, excuse me, I'm just gonna go grab that thing. Or, just like, or pardon me, or don't say anything at all, because sometimes we literally don't even brush the person next to us. Like, I've been apologized to so many times, and I'm like, what? Like, why did that happen? Why did you apologize? And I'll call my friends out on it. I'll call my family members out on it. It's literally something that happens so often. Now I just laugh. Oh, sorry. I lost my train of thought. It's okay. I'm waiting. I'm being patient. And if you have someone who is literally rushing you, then maybe they shouldn't even be around to hear your story. Just saying. Maybe that's a little harsh, but just saying. Anyway, back to the main point. So the point is the little things that make us who we are, right? For me, I guess, I talk with my hands, I laugh a lot, and I speak a lot. Yeah. So I tell you these things because sometimes talking with my hands annoys me. I don't like the sound of my own voice, and I don't like how often I laugh, and sometimes I don't even like the way I laugh. Sometimes I try so hard not to laugh because I'm embarrassed of my own laugh, which is so much, because a lot of people will see me smiling and they'll see me like being this entirely different person who I guess does all of those things. Like this entire page, like I just flailed my arms, you know what I mean? I'm very animated, and that is not something to be ashamed of. And I am still learning this lesson. So whatever words you hear today, tonight, is advice that I am trying to give myself. Okay, follow me, follow me. Follow the hand, follow the hand. I need focusing over here. Let's see. Maybe it's that it's not capturing me because of etceteras. Okay, well, if it doesn't, that's the way it is. That's the way it is, isn't it? I think that it is a mixture of the expectation to be perfect, right? I just think I end up questioning myself a lot, especially when I feel inferior, which is weird. It's just intriguing how we as humans judge ourselves based on someone else who has their entire life. Like, they have very unique experiences to your own. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else is living these lives, right? And no matter what we think they are living, no matter what we know, even if we know every single bit, we still don't know every single bit, because there's that time allotted for when you're not around, from before you even knew each other. There's that time for when they're alone, right? And you never know what someone else is dealing with on the sidelines. I was in a grocery store with my friend, and just outside the store, we saw an old woman bawling her eyes out, and we thought someone may have died. We thought maybe she was lost. She was an older woman. We saw her a couple minutes later in the store. What was interesting was that she fully, like, almost rudely kind of pushed through lines of people waiting to cash out with her cart without saying anything. And both times she was essentially like scolded for not saying excuse me. But she didn't say anything. She just kept going. And then the second time, she didn't say anything. She just kept going. And I thought, I was like, maybe she doesn't even speak English. Maybe she, like, I don't know why she's lost or why she's crying in general, but she very easily could not have even spoken English. And these people are yelling at her for not saying, excuse me. So, I mean, if you're in a country, I guess you would say it anyway in your own native language. I mean, at least I would. But she was literally just bawling her eyes out outside. And I mean less than 10 minutes ago. So it's kind of like she could honestly just be in a frenzy in her head. She's not even thinking clearly. Because I know I've been in that situation to where I can't even, like, I'm doing silly things. You know what I mean? To where I'm like, oh man, like that was silly of me. But your mind is everywhere. Your mind is scattered when, like when you're crying or when you're sad or when you're even like extremely happy. Sometimes like you're just so scattered. And so that was a lesson to me as well, because you never know what someone else is going through. So as far as our little habits and things that maybe some people think are annoying, always remember that they might be saying that to you because someone told them that, and now they're reflecting and putting it on you. And now they're thinking like, oh wow, that's what that sounds like. I mean, subconsciously, because at first you're not thinking, ugh, you're doing that thing that I hate about myself. Nobody really says that. In my case, I was told that I had a nasally and annoying voice by my own teacher, who thought I was talking when I wasn't. This was way back in high school. This was like 10 years ago now, which is wild to me. Wild. But still, to this day, I remember that moment and I'm like, wow, that really affected me so much more than I ever would have imagined. Now I constantly think, man, I probably sound so annoying. I should probably stop talking. Because I talk so much, I guess, it makes me a lot more sociable as a person. I am not afraid to walk up to a stranger and start up a conversation. And I want to be the listener. I want to be the shoulder for a while instead of looking for one. And then I also really don't like that. Well, I don't dislike it either. This is definitely more of I love this thing and I don't allow myself to do it. So when I am waiting around or just have a hard surface in front of me and I have nails, I love to just tap my nails. People hate that so much that I have been told to please stop. I don't know if it's the rhythmic pattern of like obnoxious sounds or whatever, but I love that sound. It's so calming to me and I never get to do it because I feel like someone else is going to judge me for it. So maybe not. And I mean, for example, nails on a chalkboard, right? Would I want someone, I mean, the very rare person who likes the sound of nails on a chalkboard, like, would I want them to just constantly scratch a chalkboard every time they see one? No, I would hate that and I wouldn't be able to stand that. So that's the thing that I think of is that, like, would I want someone else just to continue being annoying as hell? Just because they didn't care about me, which they have full right to do it. It's like, it's such a difficult life, If I heard nails on a chalkboard, I would want to pull my hair out, right? It's that annoying. It's that like, ugh. Even talking about it just sends a shiver up my spine. But, so in that aspect, like, would I want that? Absolutely not. So am I going to do something that I believe that people honestly, like, I'm sure that that's kind of like the way they feel about me tapping my nails, or tapping a pen. I used to tap a pen. I have stopped that since actually middle school. It was 8th grade. Someone really, really hated that sound. Asked me to stop, and I felt so annoyed, but then I never did it again. And every time I see myself, or every time I notice that I'm doing it, I end up stopping immediately. Even if I'm alone, I will stop immediately because I don't want to continue that habit. So that is something that, like, that they make, I mean, they would make, I guess they don't technically make me who I am because I'm stopping myself from doing it. But the talking and all of that stuff, talking with my hands and, some people, oh my God. So when I'm dancing, I close my eyes. If you've ever gone out with me, you know this. It is such a thing that people have made such a big deal out of it. Like, oh my God, like I could see that you're in your zone because you're closing your eyes. The moment I close my eyes, you know I ignore everything else and I am just letting loose. And maybe I look crazy, whatever, but I don't know that. In my head, I am a fucking goddess. I have been told right afterward, like as I'm getting a drink or something, they're like, oh my goodness, like, why do you do that? You're just in your own head, aren't you? They're saying, please stop because I'm hanging out with you and you're so crazy looking. But I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't stop. I do this. I will always do this, but that is fully like when that is when you know. So that's one of the things that now I cannot get out of my head, that, oh man, I'm closing my eyes. Everyone notices, but I don't care. Whoop. Let's not drop my money tree. Okay. I don't think I gave you a name. That's a damn shame. What did I name you, Gerald? Did I name you Gerald? Here's an odd one for you. The moment that I don't speak is the moment that people start to bother me so much about talking. Speak up. Why aren't you talking? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, aren't you the same person that said I talk too much? So it doesn't mean that I'm not in a good mood. It means I don't have anything to say. And is that a problem? You know what I mean? Like, so if you're a quiet person, feel no need to speak up, especially when people tell you to, because there's really no reason. They are feeling insecure about themselves. The moment that they realize that you haven't said anything, then they start to feel insecure. Oh my God, I've been talking too much. Why aren't they saying anything? Are they mad at me? Are they upset? That just fully comes from a misunderstanding. I can be talkative, but the moment that I'm actually with someone else who chats a lot, I'll stop talking because I want to hear what they have to say. I've spoken enough, like I'm okay with that. And but every time it happens, they're like, what's wrong? Are you upset? Are you mad? And I'm like, no, just like, why would you even say that? That doesn't make any sense. Do you see anywhere in my face that I'm upset? Like, I'm fully listening and responding to you. Essentially, like, be okay with who you are. Oh, it stopped recording. I think I've run out of space, so that's okay. How annoying is that? This is the second time that's happened. All right, guys. Well, thank you for sitting with me and enjoying this chat with me. I'll see you next time on Wine and Whiskey with Mora. And I kind of love that this sounds like a chill 70s radio or something.